What's up, everybody? My name is Willy Wonka. No, I'm just kidding, but today's review is the newest version of Wonka starring Timothy Chalamet. I'm not going to dive into too many spoilers here in this review. It's going to be very, very limited, so everybody is good to watch this whether you've seen the movie or if you haven't yet. And with that out of the way, let's get right into it. I'm going to knock the cons out of the way right away, as always, because there's not a ton for them with this movie, but some that surprised me and some that aren't so black and white as most of my movie complaints are. First one would be an example of one of those is I have two performances from the movie from two actors I was very much looking forward to that left me disappointed. The first is Olivia Colman. I love her as an actress and I was singing her praises all throughout Secret Invasion most recently, but I just I didn't really like her performance in this movie. Maybe it was more of her character that I didn't like, but I don't know. It was something was just off about her and her character and her performance in the movie. Then the other one is Keegan-Michael Key, one of the top comedic actors in the business, usually the best part of projects he's in, but I didn't think he was all that funny in Wonka. They used up a lot of his good bits actually. Maybe I'd even say all of his good bits in the trailer, and the rest was just kind of flat and just okay. But let's move on from that. I don't want to dwell on it. This next one is something that lands in that gray area, which you'll understand more when I get to the pros section. But I thought there were too many songs in this movie. I rewatched both Willy Wonka movies this week to get in the mood for Wonka, kinda, and was just overwhelmed by the amount of songs they had in the movie. Finally, I wanted more of Hugh Grant's Oompa Loompa. He's so good in the role, and I get this like a young Wonka, but if you're gonna have him show up, have him be active in Wonka's life prior to what we see in the movie, which was established, and like he's been there for a while too. It's not just like, oh, here he comes showing up for the first time. Why is he not in the movie more? I Somebody give me an answer for it. But that's it though. Those are my only issues with the movie, so let's go ahead and move on to the pros section of this review. Kicking off the pros section is going to be the sets and locations used in the movie. They were phenomenal. I love the little town. I loved Wonka's original candy shop that does get burned down, slight spoiler there. And the final one he sets up at the end of the movie, which is going to be his factory, I guess, if they do another one maybe at the castle. It's really cool. Then there's the songs, which I mentioned there being too many of in the con section, but the gray area I was talking about is even though there were too many of them, they were still pretty good songs, and Timmy actually shocked me with his singing voice, so props to him for that. I also really like the fresh take on the story. The Depp remake coming 30 some years after Gene Wilder's version worked well, but it wouldn't have worked again here so quickly, and I was glad that they channeled a fresh story for Timmy's version. And while I'm on the story, I love the storyline between Wonka and Noodle and all the sneaking around to sell chocolate and everything they did with those two characters. Now, let's go over the performances I did like in this movie. The first was the lead man himself, Timothy Chalamet, a much better Wonka than Depp was, but just short of the legendary Gene Wilder, and that is my rankings of the Wonka actors. Actually, Wilder is still my favorite, even though I'm a 2000s baby. It doesn't really make any sense, but that's just how I am. Then Timmy's there at number two. He was really good in this, and Depp's down at the bottom. I didn't hate him. There's just something off about that movie. He reminds me so much of James Franco when he's playing Wonka. It's funny, but we're getting off track. Let's get back on. Another one I liked, as I said earlier, was Hugh Grant as the Oompa Loompa. I also thought Kala Lane, who played Noodle, was really good, especially for a younger actress. Rowan Atkinson was hilarious in his minor role as a father of that church the Chocolate Cartel operated out of. And on that note, my favorite member of that cartel was Matt Lucas, he's the one with the bad wig and the glasses. He was hilarious. Then, to close out the pro section of my review, I thought the credit thing they do with the Oompa Loompa, well, it's not really a credit scene. It's like right away when the movie ends. It was just the perfect way to cap it off. And once again, Hugh Grant was just so damn funny. And so that'll do it for my review of Wonka. I still enjoyed it despite my complaints, but I was definitely caught off guard based off what I saw from the trailers by the amount of musical bits in the movie. Wonka is going to land at a 7 out of 10 for me, but let me know what you thought about the movie if you've seen it down in the comments below and make sure you have a great day.